First, look at the bridegroom. The bridegroom, the groom as we call it today in this parable, is Jesus Christ. And then the church is portrayed as the bride of Christ. That's you and I and everybody that has believed before us. You see, in the end, Jesus is going to marry the church, the body of believers. You see, a Jewish wedding featured the bridegroom who would leave his home with his close friends to go over to the bride's house. Let me say this for you. The groom had to be prepared to get up early and spend all day at the bride's house. Watch this. Here's another thing that we done messed up. The 10 virgins in this parable may be bridesmaids who assisted the bride and expected to meet the groom as he returned from the bride's house. Watch this. You try to pick your bridesmaids. Your bridesmaids was chosen from a group of virgin girls, whether you knew one or not. The Bible says that the bridegroom went to her house. And after various ceremonies, there would be a procession through the streets, usually after nightfall, going back to the groom's house. You have to understand, procrastination is a bad symptom. You want to be ready. You want to have your bags packed. You want to be ready when Jesus comes. Then there's people who let worldly things come first. You're not here to enjoy the world. Just because they invent it don't mean it's for you. There's some things that you ought to fall out with. You start drinking wine at 14 and hit your head on a rock, that ought to be enough. But we think it's everybody else. Then there's people who think God is too merciful to destroy. I told you, you're right. God does not put people in hell. People put themselves in hell by disobeying God. Jesus tells us to go in a different direction, an opposite direction. From doubt, turn toward faith. From fear, turn toward trust. From filth, turn toward decency. From fleshness, turn toward spirituality. From people's opinion, turn to God's word. From the valley, turn to the mountain. Rather thank God that the future is open, shining more and more unto that perfect day. Is it anybody here that's thanking the Lord that there is a bright side somewhere? You ain't got to stay in darkness. There's a bright side. God will light up your life. God will restore your life. God will turn it around.